India's sea-launched missile capability. I'm just finishing. Thank you. Okay. India's sea-launched missile capability should be seen along with its land and air inventories and the recent development of canister-based missile capability. Some of the Indian land-based systems would ostensibly on a launch on warning mode, in which warheads would be mated and ready to use at short notice. The ready arsenal aboard SSBNs, canistrized missiles, and ballistic missile defense capability is a dangerous mix that would encourage a preemptive strike tendency in the Indian mindset. Such proclivity would carry dangerous ramifications in times of crisis. It is easy to conclude that such a sea-based deterrent shall further erode the credibility of India's no first use declaration. India's naval neutralization also raises some safety and security related concerns, having a history of incidents and accidents where expensive vessels and equipment were lost to low professional prowess of the crew. Experts have observed that Indian Navy currently lacks adequate dockyard facilities to support the increasing number of supporting platforms. And I could go into a list of these, but I'll not for the want of time. Some of the experts also argue that India's nuclear fleet shall have authority to use nuclear weapons pre-delegated to junior officers. And then there are also concerns about the completely reliable communication system, command control, and etc., which is likely to erode. So it raises a number of questions that would India adopt a delegated command and control system? Would the chances of inadvertent or unauthorized use increase? Or no one has an answer to these questions except drawing dangerous inferences from the Navy's troubled history. In the end, I would like to conclude by saying that that neutralization of Indian Ocean affects stability at the capability and operational level. Traditionally, it is believed that second strike capability strengthens deterrence between adversaries. However, this element complements the stability only if both adversaries have such a capability. In this case, it is only India which is developing such a capability. And I think that instead of trying to achieve crisis stability, Pakistan and India should actually seek dispute resolution, which is the pounds, and crisis stability is the pennies. So if we take care of pounds, the pennies will take care of themselves. I am here. Thank you.
A very innovative and detailed presentation relating to the ocean and maritime security, especially the directions in which the Indian maritime capabilities are moving. You have, as I read, made two important observations. One is that if nuclear weapons are placed in the Indian Ocean, it certainly is going to impact on the security of all Indian Ocean region countries, especially the littoral states. Secondly, you have also stated that oceans, including the Indian Ocean, are an asset common to humanity, rather than exclusive zones for any powers. So, if there is an effort by any regional or outside power to make any of these oceans turn into the kind of an exclusive zone, that is going to cause instability, strategic instability, and tensions. So you have listened to three excellent presentations, thought-provoking presentations, and I'm sure that you must be having many questions. questions. So we straight away go into the question answer session.
Thank you so much, Chair. My name is Muhammad Ali. I have two brief questions from Dr. Adil and Brigadier Kazmi. My first question is that Dr. Adil, you have stressed that Pakistan's threat perception vis-a-vis India aims to cater to threats in at all three levels of operational, tactical, and strategic. I would like your informed academic response. What India perceives or chooses as a tactical measure against Pakistan, which Pakistan interprets as a strategic threat, how will it affect crisis stability? And my question from Brigadier Kazmi is, I think you have given an extensive overview of the technological developments in the Indian naval realm. So don't you think that the technological developments have overtaken the Indian stated nuclear doctrine? So it will be a useful CBM if India revises its nuclear doctrine so that Pakistan considers it more credible and trustworthy.
I think we can take a couple of more questions, please.
I'm Mazair, journalist from Online News Agency, and we are also editor. My question is from any of the panelists or to each of the recent strategic complaints by Modi to Chinese president are very relevant, that he conveyed to Chinese president about CPEC and other strategies. So the CPEC, the Chabahar, the Gwadar, the other projects which are being initiated by Pakistan, what is the China role of nuclear? What is China role of nuclearization of Indian Ocean and other? Because Pakistani military authorities have also said that CPEC will be guarded by drones, by submarines, etc. How do you see China's role in nuclearization?
Thank you, sir. My name is Mohammed Umar. I'm from NAS. My question is for Professor Jaspal. Given the recent current events that have been taking place and statements coming out of India, isn't the threat of Indian covert operations in Pakistan greater than an actual military operation? And because of Dr. Adil Sultan's excellent presentation, my understanding is that the budget numbers, the number of troops don't matter because we've created some sort of stability with our battlefield nuclear weapons. So how does an arms control agreement address the much more critical threat of covert operations in Pakistan? Thank you.
Thank you, Ali, for that question. I understand you are saying if India takes limited military action against Pakistan as a tactical measure, what would be Pakistan's response? I assume that's your question. How would Pakistan interpret that?
Let me repeat it and clarify. I just give a scenario that if what India perceives or chooses as a tactical step against Pakistan, but Pakistan interprets it as a strategic threat, how will it affect this crisis?
It's not a matter of interpretation. Any military action by India is strategic. And that's why we continue to say there is no space for any kind of military conflict between two nuclear powers, may it be tactical, operational or strategic. And that's why we continue to emphasize that even though these are tactical nuclear weapons addressed against those limited kind of operations, the objective is strategic. So from the Pakistani perspective, any conflict that will have strategic implications, that's how we see our nuclear capability also.
Right. If I correctly recall, the question that you posed was that the technological developments which are taking place in India, is there a change in doctrine? And if there is none, should India consider changing its doctrine? Once the current Indian government came in power, before that they had released their manifesto, and there were few indications about possible revision in doctrine, which was interpreted at least as if they're going to revise the NFU and no first use pledge, etc. And once it started drawing a lot of attention, I think very swiftly in May or April that year, they followed it up by saying that there will be no changes. But if a military mindset or anyone who looks at it adversely would look closely, they would, instead of what a state is saying, they also, one takes it into account because signaling, etc. is important. But more importantly, a state's capability speaks for itself. And the developments in the nuclear force posture, in the conventional force posture, the exercises that Indians have conducted, for example, India has, as far as the Cold Star Doctrine is concerned, done more than 21 high-level exercises, and the last one was in an NBC environment. Likewise, the testing of a submarine-launched ballistic missile from a submerged platform, and then later this year, lately, clearly shows that India is developing a triad of nuclear forces. And as I briefly alluded earlier, that the NFU pledge that they have given, and concurrently, once they say that they'll also go for massive retaliation, so there's a sort of either inbuilt or by purpose or otherwise discontent within the declared doctrine. And one would, if it is technological pull or otherwise, because of which India is developing this triad, I think it will. There may be a revision of the nuclear doctrine, or may not. But as I said earlier, a rational adversary would always look at the force posture and doctrine both.
Yeah. Let me first question, when you use the word covert or overt? Covert. Okay. First I will come to this first question is that what you have mentioned, CPAC. Frankly speaking, if the Prime Minister Modi is lobbying against Pakistan's CPAC, one should not be worried, one should not be considering it an unexpected event. It's a strictly competitive, they have their own interest, and they know the CPAC will be giving some kind of a economic, but that is open, overt advantage to the Pakistan, advantage to the China, and covertly, the same rule could be used for a military purposes. When atom bomb was built by the Hitler, his objective was not for trade, his objective was transportation of other things. Similarly, there could be a dual project. That is the one thing. So we should be very confident that adversaries or any states which have some kind of restrictive competition with Pakistan, they have to look this thing as a threat, or it qualifies to be established in their threat perception. On the other side, yes, we are looking to CPAC as an economic venture. For us, it's not a military venture. It's not going to add any kind of in our military strength. It is something to build the Gwadar. Gwadar is not our naval port. So naturally, Gwadar is more, we are looking to develop it as an economic port. It will be going to compete with the, you can say, other sister ports economically. So obviously, we are clear that the CPAC has no military sort of thing. So the point here is that anything which is adding in the Pakistan's economics, stability, security,
it is not acceptable to any strategic competitor of Pakistan, whether it's India, whether it's any other state. So these are the realities, and as I use in my presentation this word alliances. New alliances formation is taking place. If the Americans can go for Indo-Pacific or rely on the Indo-Pacific strategy, then why we are shy of accepting that China is a partner of Pakistan? Americans are now very clear that Pakistan is no more frontline state, first time in history, or in the last 60, 70 years, America against its adversaries. So naturally, it has a new thing, but the Americans will be going to see that we were a submissive or dependent ally. India is not a submissive and a dependent ally of the United States, militarily speaking. So that's why these kind of things will happen. Now the Chinese has to calculate, and they have already made it very clear that they are very much convinced, and they are going to